What's up, guys? Here with you with FC Wonderkid, episode 45. Here with my guy, Breton. How are you?
I mean, this last week has been pretty trying, but without getting into all the specifics, and we are going to talk about the footballing side of things. Um, Obviously, you and I are pretty worn down from a human perspective, just dealing with all this news, and it reminds you how lucky you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you and I get to sit here and talk and do whatever we want to do, just talk about football all day.
True.
So that makes me absolutely grateful to this hour that you and I spend every weekend putting this together. And all I can say from the perspective of Russia and Ukraine
Mm-hmm.
is we obviously want what the majority of everybody wants, and that's peace.
Let's
And
just, yeah.
it's just so much. Listen, we're not qualified to talk about the geopolitics of it all,
Mm-hmm.
but I think everyone as a human is absolutely qualified to talk about it from a human perspective. And
Exactly.
our world is rife with just too much going on and too much interconnection that it's just hard not to be hit hard by all of this. But yet, for some reason, over the next hour or so, we are going to try and just talk about the footballing perspective and give everybody here a little bit of an escape. So that's what we can say about that, and we hope it ends ASAP.
There you go. There you go. I think you said it perfectly. Yeah. Just give peace a chance, okay? Just like history has told us. And yeah, people, that's it. And going with the football side, that's what we have to do. Quick
Yeah.
news: FIFA has announced that no national anthem is going to be present and neutral venue for sure with Russia, okay? And the national flag can't be shown in any of the kits. So this is a direct impact of what's happening in football, okay, with Russia. And we got to talk about the biggest, I'd say, story with football and with all this. It's the Chelsea situation, okay?
Yeah.
Roman Abramovich gave the club to the Chelsea Foundation. But we all know he still retains the club. He's still the owner of the club, okay? He's still 19 years ahead of Chelsea, okay? From they're glorious now, and yeah, Abramovich had a huge say in that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and let's be honest. His statement didn't reference Putin, Ukraine,
Mm.
condemnation. It didn't reference any of that. It just referenced his life as his last 20 years or so as
Mm-hmm.
the steward of Chelsea. So yes, he passes that on, and he's doing it before somebody comes in and takes it from him, i.e.,
Mm-hmm.
governments. But anyway, that's politics when you get there. But what was more embarrassing, I thought, after all of this was actually that like 3-line club statement.
Mm.
I don't know if you saw it, but it also just it mentioned Ukraine. They can do so much more, so much better, but in the end, it's like
Mm-hmm.
you can't focus your attention on all of this, but you can focus on the news, and that is that yeah, not only those changes, and there's no guarantee that those changes, in terms of not being able to display the flag and things like that. There's no guarantee that Chesney comes out and Robert Lewandowski comes out and says, okay, I'm going to play now and not boycott it, right? Just
Mm-hmm.
because it moves to a neutral venue doesn't mean that they then take a larger stance in terms of saying we're not going to play it. And I get it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a human element to the Russian side of things because not every Russian is, at fault
So
for this. Just like being an American, I understand why I get overgeneralized sometimes, but I'm not at fault for our government from time to time, right? So it's just really interesting. But yes, Russia also lost the Champions League final, and all that seems so damn small compared to what's actually
so
going on. But let's just point really quickly to like the not happy stuff,
mm.
but the heartwarming stuff is, and I know it doesn't mean much, but from a human element side of things, just seeing like Mikalenko and Zinchenko meet up, before their game, Manchester
Mm-hmm.
City, Everton, to see the various outpouring of support. Hopefully, in the future, that turns into concrete support of the crazy thing that's going on there. and people actually starting to speak up.
Mm-hmm.
At Russian players too, putting themselves in danger by speaking up. Some of that's encouraging, and we got to remember it's so early with all this, and
Mm-hmm.
more craziness is unfortunately going to happen, and craziness is such a loaded word because we obviously know that
Well,
it's a lot more dire and disgusting than
well,
that.
let
So
me
yeah,
ask you this, Breton. Let me ask you this concretely. Do you
yeah.
think Chelsea is going to be affected by this with selling players? Because honestly, I feel with all this situation, Chelsea has lost leverage, financially leverage, because in my opinion, Chelsea were in the say of Real Madrid, Barcelona, and then Chelsea and City. They would spend the money to get these big players. So
Yeah.
I think players like Jorginho, Lukaku, okay, that was on the bench in the final against Liverpool, Ziyech, Kovacic, Kante, Mendy, and Kepa. All the like Mendy, no, but Kepa. All these players must be like, we might go because big salaries with all the situation. Like there must be a salary cap, not as big as what Roman Abramovich. Okay, so what do you think? Times are going to change at Chelsea with this?
I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. It depends on the transition over time. It depends on obviously if this gets taken away, if you
Mm-hmm.
will, or you got to think there's just such a rich history
Mm.
to Chelsea that an ownership group, probably right now, as we're speaking, there's somebody that might make it just so difficult for a Abramovich not to maybe step aside at some point. I really don't know, but I think that the absolute desire for continuity and progress within Chelsea's uh,
Mm-hmm.
atmosphere, I really do feel like there somebody would pick it up. No problem from an ownership perspective. I really don't think there's going to be a mass exodus, but I also have not maybe spent a whole lot of time thinking through this because we're obviously clouded by all the crazy
Mm-hmm.
current events. So I don't know, but it will be very interesting to watch, and maybe not in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you right now, this Carabao Cup final is I wouldn't say one for the ages, but it certainly has been one of the more intriguing matchups that we've seen. We're watching a shootout live right now as we speak, right? I think Are you glancing to the
Yeah,
side? Are you
yeah.
watching?
I'm glancing. I'm
Okay.
glancing.
I mean, we're on. I think we're on like the 17th or 18th penalty kick right now. Harvey Elliott just converted, so this is going down to the wire. Um,
Yep.
but
There you go.
I don't know. I got to ask you, what do you think? You do seem, it does seem like in thinking this through that there would be an exodus. Obviously, you would say if the fabric of ownership changes, if it doesn't become, if it isn't resolved quickly, they'd have to cut costs. Is
Mm-hmm.
that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, and I think Chelsea are more in a position to do this than any other team in England, okay? Because the Chelsea Academy keeps on delivering every single year. Like, and I have like here, like Callum Hudson-Odoi stays, Reece James stays, Mason
Yeah.
Mount stays, Adamant
Yeah.
Broja can stay, Conor Gallagher stays, Billy Gilmore, Harvey Vale, like the list goes on and on and on.
Shalaba's put in one hell of a game today.
Facts.
Yeah.
Shaloba. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's just if Chelsea have to sell, no problemo. And even when they sell, they can still sign here and there the positions that they'll be lacking in the future. I just think the question for me is how long is Thomas Tuchel going to stay at Chelsea too, you know? And I think having an owner like Abramovich present at Chelsea keeps Tuchel much more than him not being there, okay? Because yeah, he's a top class manager with guarantees, more than guarantees, winning the Champions League in his first season, you know. So it's I don't know, but Lukaku definitely must be on the spot, okay? Lukaku is an easy grab for money for Chelsea, okay? They can sell him. They can cut the shorts, especially with all this situation, in my opinion. He must be the one on the spot. He must be.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he must.
But you're talking
Joe,
about the game. Let's mention the who do we think should be highlighted about the game, because penalties are not. It led up to that situation. Four
yeah,
goals. Like
Yeah,
four
yeah,
goals
I
in VAR,
gotta go
man.
Yeah, I gotta go back and I
And
know Kep is in goal right now, right? But
I
that double save for Edouard Mendy on Naby Keita and then on his
yes.
teammate Sadio Mane. I mean, that preserved things. But yeah, there's been a lot going on here.
Gonna say Kelleher and Mendy had a fantastic
Yes.
matchup. Okay, those two
Yeah.
keepers. Luis Diaz. Okay, I love the fact that players are getting substituted ahead of him. Sadio Mane leaves and they put Jota and Luis Diaz stays. And you ask any Liverpool fan if that was the right choice, and they say yes. Yes already, okay? So in the short period of time, Luis Diaz is showing the mad techers that he has. And even David Moyes came out and he said that he had a chat with Luis Diaz for him to go to West Ham. And he had his mindset. Klopp must have just sprinkled all that he had to listen on the phone, because Luis Diaz had his mindset to Liverpool, as David Moyes said. So it's fitting. It's fitting.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think, and Kovacic also for
Mhm.
Chelsea. I mean, he just was absolutely everywhere. And Chalobah, I thought, had a very good game.
Mhm.
Kepa just skied the final penalty kick, and it's over. Liverpool wins.
Harvey Elliott, man, that kid has fire. Like the Trent Kai Havertz moment. Like you got to. This is what I like about Liverpool. Not that I like. I love. And Klopp seems to do this with his teams, and it's the spirit of unity. Okay, it's this spirit that if I go down, you go down with me. And Harvey Elliott, he's a youngster. He's a total youngster, and he's learning with a guy that Trent's a 23-year-old veteran. You know what I'm saying? So the vibes, man. Liverpool. And I have a question. Quick question with all this. Klopp. Klopp. How long do you think Klopp will stay at Liverpool? I know it's a crazy question to ask on the spot, but like for me, Klopp after Liverpool is going to the German national team. I won't say guaranteed, but I really believe free agent Klopp gets the German job guaranteed. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement that that's kind of the only other logical place to go, because right now, wouldn't you say, in terms of financial freedom, in terms of, just the total control at the club, like, wouldn't you say that what's the next challenge? Where do you go? Where do you go from here? It would be, wouldn't be a Serie A team. There's too much meddling there, right? Maybe La Liga, but they have their issues in terms of, in terms of finances right now. I mean, Real Madrid, Barcelona, that's a hell of a project, and they just, they got Xavi, and he's not going anywhere until he can't prove his mettle. So the only real logical place would be Germany. And I would say the same thing for Tuchel as well. I mean, wouldn't that literally be the only other logical place for him to go?
Well, I'm gonna go bold maybe with this, but like, is Atletico is kind of like the vibe of Klopp? No. Like Dortmund is kind of that team, like underdog feeling. You gotta be ruthless. Liverpool, they were an underdog story before Klopp arrived. They were sleeping giants. And Atletico, I kind of have the underdog feeling in La Liga. And they have that ruthlessness playing, that pressing playing. They just need to move things here and there. But I don't think this is immediate. What we're suggesting here is something after Liverpool, guys, okay? So, but it's very interesting to have this thought, in my opinion.
This is just Alex always wanting to try and guess the future. You know me, I'm terrible at this pontification stuff. I mean, hell, I was calling for Newcastle to get relegated. It's looking like they might not get relegated.
No.
Actually, I do want to. I mean, I know we probably don't want to go maybe from Chelsea to Newcastle, but I do have to say, I'm not. It might be too early to say it, but I am very, very impressed. Considering what Kieran Trippier is injured. You've got Bruno Guimaraes, who's still getting up to speed and is not necessarily even part of the squad in any like material way just yet. So it's not even as if their signings have done much. It's been the guys that have been there all along. It is very much so. Joe Linton, I got to give him the shout he deserves. Even a Shelby has played pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
But their backs were against the wall, and they've rattled off a 6-game unbeaten streak, 4 wins, 2 draws. And frankly, it's against a lot of clubs that they should have been getting points against. And that's exactly what you have to do to avoid relegation, right? You got to
Mm-hmm.
beat the teams that you have to beat. And
Exactly.
they have done that. So it's probably too soon to say this, but I might have to retract my call that Newcastle is going to get relegated.
Yes, you
And
do.
I was probably dumb for even mentioning it in the first place, but it wasn't the money. Was not the
No, no,
money.
no. I agree with you. I agree with you. I think Eddie Howe had a big touch in it because
Yeah.
even like getting Chris Wood type beats, little, these sneaky deals that, yeah, they made sense now playing wise. And you'll see Bruno Guimarães. I'm very
Yeah.
hopeful on him. He's still adapting. Normal. Okay, we're gonna talk about a world class player, GOAT for many, adapting to a league. So it happens. All these players need to adapt, but we can talk about players that adapt faster here. And I got to lead up. You talking about Newcastle. I'm going to talk about a team with a new coach too, and that's Conte
Yeah.
and Tottenham.
Oh.
And I have to say, okay, I loved to see Conte putting his
Yeah.
job and saying, look, guys, Mourinho, he's a winner.
Yeah.
He didn't manage to do anything here. Nuno Espírito Santo arrives, he can't do anything here. Pochettino leaves the way he left. Like, it's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to me. Like, in 5 games, 4 losses, and one of the wins is against Man City. Isn't that very suspicious? In my opinion, it is. It's like Harry Kane saying, okay, I'll show up against Man City. But the other 4, nah. So, the answer against Leeds is natural. It's absolutely natural, okay? And I really believe Conte is getting the grip on his team. And even Kulusevski. 2 goals in 5 matches. Kulusevski's showing results. So...
Yeah, I mean, those that said that he would thrive, and it's probably too early to say this, but those that said that he would thrive in an Antonio Conte type, atmosphere, have so far been proven right. Sometimes just getting the chance day in, day out, you get it done. But it's so bizarre. The Jekyll and Hyde, like how wacko has it been to be a Spurs fan, watching them lose to Burnley. In between that sandwiched by beating Manchester City and then stomping and essentially getting Marcelo Bielsa fired from Leeds United. But I'm not necessarily in agreement with you about the whole Antonio Conte mind games crap. It just sounded so ugh. But it's probably just part and parcel of his. I haven't necessarily been able to catch up on the years that he's played those mind games in Serie A.
Yeah, he does. He does that.
Yeah, but
He
it
does that.
seemed a little bit tiresome. And that's like the last thing Spurs fans needed was like, oh great, here we go. He's already done. It's over. We're never gonna have stability again. Antonio Conte is basically begging to be fired.
He's
But
causing an
you're
impact.
saying that's part of the game.
He's
Okay.
causing an impact. He's shaking up the club because, let's be honest, Tottenham needs a massive wake-up call, and I think Conte is doing that. But some positive news. Kane and Son became the most prolific duo in Premier League history, okay? So big up on
37?
that. And I don't know the numbers. I just know that they became the most prolific duo in the Premier League. And I am sure Conte, in his mind, must be thinking, I got to do with Son and Kane what I did with Lautaro and Lukaku. I just need to build around with the pieces that I know I need to be successful. And that's why I think he's just putting tremendous pressure leading up to the summer, Conte. In my opinion, with all this talk, it's going to work, Breton. I legit believe in the Tottenham project.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, Harry Kane and Son, that I believe it's 37 goal contributions together.
Ridiculous.
Either assisting or scoring the actual goal, and just absolutely amazing. I know that there are negatives that come with it too, and I'm maybe a little bit blind to the negatives that come with Son, just because he's such a happy dude. But maybe it's ball possession. Maybe he loses the ball too much,
True.
and you see that because how do you go from losing to a Burnley to stomping all over Leeds and actually beating a City? But hey, that is something that I don't know. I mean, there hasn't necessarily been a tandem that has stuck together that long at the same squad in the same league for as long as they have so far, and it'll be really, really interesting.
And you mentioned fast like what happened because of the Tottenham game, and that was Bielsa, right? And like Bielsa losing 4-0 to Tottenham, and before 6-0 to Liverpool, man. In 2 games, 10 goals and no goals scored. So like Bielsa, like I know, legend, okay, leaves Leeds as a legend because the culture is much better than what it was when he arrived. So big up on Bielsa. Players like Calvin Phillips, Jack Harrison, Daniel James is just perfect, okay, for Leeds. We all knew that. And I love to see what he made, what happened with Bielsa and with Leeds. But I gotta ask you, like, the person that but you sure have some comments about Bielsa. Sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean about Bielsa, I'm in complete agreement. I mean he does still leave as a club legend, absolutely. And even though Leeds are trending towards a big relegation battle moving forward, much like Everton and potentially even Brentford, it has to be said. Bielsa was dealing with ridiculous injuries, absolutely ridiculous injury spell.
True.
And very little backing, surprisingly, in the transfer window. Very little even got done when all of these kinks had started to kind of like make themselves make people aware of them. It was a little shocking that nothing was actually done there. So that's not necessarily an excuse for Bielsa, because the definition of insanity is banging your head against the wall and thinking that is going to be a different outcome. And Bielsa never really changed. He kept running the same system essentially and getting shellacked. They gave up 20 goals in their 5 games, 5 Premier League games in this past month, which is a Premier League record. Okay, and that's even taking into consideration like the years that West Brom and other clubs that were like bottom of the table, like really bottom of the table, were in the league. So the fact that they gave up literally average 4 goals a game conceded over the last month, I mean Bielsa, what else are you gonna do?
It's true.
But yes, it opens things up for hopefully it's a redemption story for Jesse Marsch.
Exactly.
Fabrizio Romano, I don't know if he's actually come out and said, here we go yet, but Fabrizio Romano has announced that it is pretty certain that Jesse Marsch, the ill-fated Red Bull Leipzig quick boss, that was kind of cast to the side, but obviously had a very good tenure at Red Bull Salzburg previous to that. Hey, if he becomes the second American to coach in the Premier League history, it both excites and terrifies me for Jesse Marsch. I honestly, because he's inheriting a club right now that is not on the solid ground that it was previously in last year. And Jesse Marsch plays a style that does keep you kind of a little bit vulnerable at the back, and they just conceded 20 goals in 1 calendar month. So I'm a little worried, but I am excited about what you were going to mention. And that
I have to ask you this. Like, do you think Jesse Marsch is going to have an impact at Leeds that like Bruno Lage had at Wolves? Is he going to have an immediate good impact at the club, you reckon, at Leeds? Because I think that's what Leeds fans want to know. Is he going to improve from what Bielsa's showing, you reckon?
Yeah, so he's known to be a little bit hard-headed in terms of hanging on to his tactics. But hey, if your tactics start to work, I get that. But that's also what got Bielsa into hot water. So he is a club guy. He is a locker room guy. And if there's anyone that can rally, I mean, you can still remain a Premier League club with the Harrisons, with Rafinha, with Meslier at the back, you got a lot of really good pieces that unfortunately are just not working and jiving together, and you need to get your injuries back. And unfortunately, he's got to basically come into this and say, does he keep his job Does Jesse Marsch, and I know we're getting way ahead of ourselves, would he keep his job if they actually fall into the relegation territory and
No,
they get relegated?
he wouldn't. He wouldn't.
So
Like,
it's kind of like
yeah,
he's going to get no backing, no transfers. He's going to get
exactly.
nothing. So Jesse Marsch's job is just come in and save the day. And if you can't save the day, then you don't get a clean slate at an off season and any financial backing to improve your squad. So,
But
I think
if he stays in the Prem and everything works out, we were talking here before the pod started. I'm gonna give you the shine, man, because you said this in the past in the podcast, and some followers for sure know what we're gonna say. And who goes to Leeds? So if Jesse Marsch is there,
Yep.
Who goes? I'm asking you.
There Philly born.
There you go.
Medford, New Jersey born. Yeah, I mean, it is a very pressing, intense system that Jesse Marsch runs, all the way back to Red Bull. I mean, it's the Red Bull system essentially, with a few tweaks here and there. And there is no better person out there than Brenden Aaronson, who, according to data, I forget whose data it is, but he has covered the most ground of any player in the top 10, top 15 leagues, because he is always moving. And he's getting so much better at ball security, getting so much better at finding the channels and things like that, that Brenden Aaronson is packed in a very small package. But he packs a lot of punch, and it could work really, really well in Leeds with their current personnel. So yeah, I do envision Jesse Marsch bringing Brenden Aaronson in, but that's only if they survive relegation.
So people, say in the comment section what do you think's gonna happen in the Prem. Is Tottenham gonna get wins? Is Bielsa? Is Jesse Marsch coming to Leeds? Like, who's coming? Tell us your predictions. And now I gotta mention fast, man. PSG, okay. Yeah. I have a stat here that it's huge, okay, for me to say, because Mbappé is 23 years old still. And Mbappé tied Zlatan, okay, in the most goals scored in PSG history with 156, okay? So the second, unbelievable for Mbappé to be doing this. And I'm going to ask you this. Is Mbappé currently the best player in the world, Breton?
Currently in form? Yes.
Jeez.
Yes. I don't really have. I don't even think that's that bold to say. Currently, I don't know. I mean, who else are we looking at? I mean, Dušan Vlahović.
No. Lewandowski.
Lewandowski.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, Lewandowski.
Benzema, Lewandowski. I think those would be the immediate.
Yeah.
But yeah, if Mbappé currently, I'd say, this is my take for now. I'd say no. Mbappé, in my opinion, is the most desirable football player in the world. 23, World Cup coming for France. He might have 2 World Cups in his locker at 23. Okay? And Ronaldo nor Messi have even 1 World Cup. Okay? So that's huge for any statement in the future, like go talks whatsoever. And like the stats with PSG, man, mad goals, okay? Mad goals.
He's 23. And he just tied. He just tied for second in PSG history with 156 goals, and he's already got 24 goals and 17 assists this season, which is probably why I say he's the most informed, because just as good as his 2 goals, his putaways, compliments of Messi.
Yes.
In that win over Saint Etienne, was I believe it was an outside of the boot assist.
Yes.
That he then finished the game with. So it's kind of like there's so many matches left, and this kid can hit you and hurt you, and he's still a kid for the most part. Compared to me, he's a kid. But 24 goals, 17 assists, he can just hurt you in so many different ways that I don't know. Like, it's just very impressive.
And I gotta say this, like, you say currently he's the best player in the world, and it might be, he said this publicly, because he stopped to play foot champs. It affects my mind. That's the justification. And man, I understand Mbappé, okay, the struggle. So you do you, man. Focus on you. Focus on the football side. And you mentioned it. Messi, okay, Messi 2 beautiful assists, okay? And the Mbappé assist is really good. Okay, 2 goals and a Beautiful assist too by Mbappé. But Messi, the provider, okay. 10 assists, okay, already for PSG, double digits. So let's keep on going, and big test against Real Madrid, because a la Madrid, they'll be ready, okay? They'll be ready for what's going to come. Will. I'm hyped for that match. Ooh.
Especially with Benzema back and scoring goals, yeah.
Vini Jr., he was...
you know, that Mbappé thing, though, is so true in terms of he stopped playing foot champs. I stopped playing. I lost time when I, started a family to actually play the video games. But I'm going to tell you, there were several coffee tables, several things that were
Football Manager
improperly punished due to how bad of a person I got when I played those games. If you want to see the worst side of some people, just play FIFA against them and beat the crap out of them, right? And normally I was the one getting the crap kicked out of them, so I became a very unhappy person. So I'm with him. Hey, if that's what makes Kylian Mbappé the best person moving forward, then there you go.
And another question, with PSG just ending up, do you think Pochettino at the end of the season he's leaving? Do you think Poch out? No. I think Zidane is gonna come to Paris, man. I'm getting those vibes. Vibes. Zidane has already coached Ronaldo, so now Zidane's gonna coach Messi. I think that's fitting.
It could be. I mean, but Pochettino, I don't think he deserves to be there if they don't win the Champions League. I mean, that's the stated goal, right? Is that not the stated goal?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not in. It's pretty clear that they're not in the game of I don't know, relying on their youth academy to build some sort of a crazy FM challenge.
And they have a phenomenal academy.
No, they do, but it probably not an academy that's necessarily going to give them the boost that they need to win the Champions League final. And I think with him, it's kind of it's UCL or bust. Understandably so, because there's been some false starts and they've been trying to get there. And right now, if you can't win it with Neymar, with Messi, and with Mbappe, then it's probably the coaching more than anything else, or
must be there.
Coaching from a player personnel perspective. But anyway, that'll be interesting to watch, because I know a lot of people are already pretty certain that it's not going to be Rangnick. That obviously remains boss at Manchester United, and I know he is kind of on the tips of everybody's tongue to replace Rangnick as Rangnick moves up the totem pole there.
I want that. No Poch, man. No.
I know, but he is the odds-on favorite, is he not?
Oh, yeah, he is, unfortunately. In my opinion, sorry, United fans, if you want it, but I'm not feeling it. But you said it, right decisions, good calls. And I'm going to mention, too, the team that I always get a sprinkle in the podcast. It's Barcelona. And I think now we can say it. I'm going to go bold and say, Barcelona were the biggest winners, even ahead of maybe Juventus with Vlahović. And he's doing really well. But, I just feel like Barcelona in this window in January, they got so many quality, no-risk, long-term moves with such an immediate impact, okay, that it's quality business, man. Aubameyang looks like he's there to prove the world that he's a baller. Adama Traoré, he's having a really nice effect. Dani Alves, really nice effect too. Ferran Torres, emotionally invested in Barca. 17 goal contributions already. They've all have 70. That's unbelievable. In such a short period of time to have that effect at Barcelona. So I had to say
that Frankie goal, man. That Frankie goal was beautiful.
Beauty.
Beauty.
And Pedri seems different. Gavi, I'm liking seeing but Puig, Ricky Puig, watching him coming. I felt so bad, man. Did you see him? The confidence level. You can see it. But quick question, put you on the spot with Barca. Ronaldo Araújo. Every Barca fan that you talk to says Ronaldo Araújo is the best under 23 defender in the world. Okay? I speak to many and they say that. Do you put Ronaldo Araújo ahead of Jules Koundé?
Oh, goodness.
It's a question. La Liga center
Yeah,
backs.
I mean, not yet, but guess what? We're going to kind of find out soon enough. What do you think? Sevilla, Barcelona, Europa League final? Think that can happen? Maybe then we can settle some scores. But
Yes.
Sevilla is 6-time champs, and Barcelona hasn't been in the Europa League for a whopping 19 years. No, I really, I don't feel qualified to answer that. I like Jules Koundé more so as a baller, but obviously I'm warming up to Ronaldo.
Yes.
A whole lot, and he's got versatility too. And I know you've been singing his praises, and absolutely it could be correct. But I am still a Jules Koundé believer when it comes down to it. Maybe just a little more so. So hey, a head-to-head, that's the best way to end this. But I gotta go back and attach some statistics to your Barcelona praise right now, because, and then I will end with a bold statement. Yeah, Aubameyang looks like a different being, right? He looks like he wants to be there. Not surprising, okay? But he's got 4 goals in his first 5 matches for Barcelona, and believe it or not, that is the best start he has ever had at a club, any club. Okay, the best start. So he has put his best foot forward there. And come on, I mean, with who they've got in the midfield and their wingers, if they remain healthy and all that good stuff, and he should get his chances, right? He should get his chances. And generally, yeah, Aubameyang, when he's on point, is a phenomenal finisher and can remain so long term. I mean, and then Adama Traore. All right, let's go to him for a second because I don't want to leave him out. I said that his move to Barcelona would be inconsequential unless Xavi could maybe unlock something. Well, he's already got 4 assists in 5 games for Barcelona, and in his last 2 seasons with Wolves, collectively he dished out how many assists? 3 assists. So Xavi's already gotten the most out of it, and he's also got 2 players that have very quickly, very right away, just wanted to prove themselves, and they're trying to do that. And hey, that can actually motivate a team a whole lot more, especially when like the reservoir or like their worst means that they're still potentially a world-class player. I know Aubameyang felt like a waste of space at Arsenal for a long period of time, but let's be honest, when he was on point, he was one of the best players in the world. And if he can even tap into 90% of that, Xavi, he's going to get one hell of a weapon to potentially find himself back in the Champions League next year.
Agreed.
You know, and, I got to say it right now. Barcelona is a massive, massive threat to win all of the Europa League. I did not think they had the tools, but after this transfer window and after seeing them starting to play together against an albeit Napoli that has kind of fallen by the wayside recently, they were not the Napoli we were talking about earlier in the season. It's going to be a lot of fun, and that's why I do. I mean, let's go over this Europa League.
Yes, tell me.
Are you ready?
Tell me.
Because I'll start with who Barcelona is going to play.
Okay, genuine reaction, okay, guys, because I actually missed out on this. Okay, yes, hate on me. I missed out on the draw. But tell me.
Yeah, I don't know what rock you were sleeping under, but he's here. I am going to tell him the UEFA Europa League draw right now. You ready?
Yes.
I'm going to do it quickly, too. I don't want to take up too much of our time. But Barcelona gets Galatasaray.
Barca.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got Barca?
Yeah.
Okay. Red Bull Leipzig gets Spartak Moscow.
Leipzig. And Kunku too good.
Yeah, and I don't know. And Kunku, heat check, right? He's up to 23 goals on the season. So, my God. Yeah. Real Betis gets Eintracht Frankfurt. Okay. Ooh. Rangers gets Red Star.
Rangers wins.
Yeah, Rangers.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Rangers knocked out Dortmund. Exactly. On them, right? Woo. Okay. Braga, your boys came back. They. I know they're not your boys, but the Portuguese club.
I'm for them.
Yeah. Okay. Braga, they have Monaco. It's gonna be tough.
Hey.
But they got Monaco. Chouameni.
Hey. That's
gonna be tough.
I would prefer Rangers to Monaco, just for you to see how good I really think Monaco is. But Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. And then I'm saving the best three for the last. All right. We've got a attacking special in Atalanta versus Leverkusen.
Oh, that is a perfect matchup. Wirtz.
Beautiful.
Oh my days, what a game. Okay.
Yeah. I think Atalanta's defense though probably better than Leverkusen's, but both of their attack forces are
We can
phenomenal.
mention in the Wonderkids news the start a player of Leverkusen. But yes,
Eh,
then the two.
a certain somebody. Yeah. The next one is Sevilla and West Ham. And David Moyes is already hedging his bets, saying, "Hey, we're
Sevilla.
playing six-time champion Sevilla. It's going to be really, really tough. So we're going to see if
Exactly.
Jules Conte can first get by Kurt Zuma and West Ham, right?"
Yeah. No, yeah. It's Villa gonna get it through. And I even saw we forgot to say this: Declan Rice, 120 million. That's the report fee to get him. English tax more than shown right there, in my opinion. Okay, I'd pay 80 million max for Declan Rice, but
I'd say it's worth it though.
so you love Declan, man. You absolutely love those
Declan
leadership skills he has. But
I do.
who's Porto
Those
playing? You did say
Yeah.
that.
Okay. I saved the best one for last for you. You ready? Porto versus Lyon.
Okay, Porto versus Lyon. Epa.
And I'll be honest, I don't even think it's close. I think Porto wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lyon is dipped now. Yeah. I think Porto wins. Porto might win the whole thing, man. If they really go 100% bold. If they had Luis Diaz, but I don't know. Porto might win the league and Europa League if they go 100% bold, man. Sergio Conceição. If that happens, ganda repa Porto. Oh.
Yeah, I mean a couple things that happened in the Europa League that definitely want to. I just got to say, because we just talked about Declan Rice, and I know Dortmund bowed out, but
Bellingham scoring both.
Bellingham, I know, man. Like at 18 years old, it's like he is the indispensable player for Borussia Dortmund, and
Agreed.
he had 2 goals, 2 assists, trying to do everything he could to get Dortmund back in that match, and he had a hand in all 4 of Dortmund's goals. It's just, it's just the leadership he exudes, the fight, the determination, and even production. Like the final production is there too, and
this summer
in the end, Dortmund is going to miss out on their first European round of 16 in almost 10 years.
That's oh my days. That's actually a huge stat. Huge. And like if Haaland was there, they would have beaten Rangers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, Jude. Does he stays another season, right? At Dortmund. Haaland's gonna leave.
I think it'd be best for him to stay another season, but I'm not fully convinced that Haaland is gonna go.
What?
Haaland? Could you imagine Haaland and Bellingham staying for 1 year?
No.
The issue is if none of them can stay healthy, it doesn't matter.
Hey, no. Haaland is for sure. You know, it's Barca, man. Monaco has been giving visits by Papa Perez, by Laporta. Everybody's meeting Raiola leading up to this summer, so I can't. I'm sorry, Brutson. But going with the Dortmund investment, man, and management, sorry. Dortmund bought Gundogan, Dembele, Sancho, Aubameyang, and Pulisic for 60 million. And they sold them all for 374 million. Okay, so that is 314 million euros profit. So elite management by Dortmund, and you said that stat too, and that just shows that they were getting results in European competitions and selling big players too. So because we all remember Obama, like Dembele, when he leaves to go to Barca, people saying he's next to Mbappé level. So that was a huge replacement, and they got Sancho, that then goes to United, and this is really good management. Dortmund showed what to do to the world, you know.
And yet they can't buy a defender that stays healthy.
Sula, they got Sula. They stole Sula.
They did. They got Sula, but I'm sure his injury problems will start to crop up the moment he gets into Signal Iduna. But, the moment he walks in that stadium, boom, he's gonna have a bummed leg or something.
But you mentioned fast Leverkusen. I think we could start going with the Wonderkids, more topics, news, and sorry. Yes. I
have to ask you because we did kind of gloss over the Champions League because there's no round 16 draw. Cristiano Ronaldo, one shot versus Atletico.
I knew you were going to lead to this, man. I had a feeling.
I have to see if there's. I get it. It's still Cristiano.
No,
He'll
I feel it.
back.
I feel it, Breton.
But you got the one shot versus Atletico, and then, buddy, I mean, his facade, right? His normally, I get it. He's a very proud man, and he's also a very what the hell's the word? He's just, he's very intense, right?
That's sacrifices. He sacrifices everything.
Yes, but obviously the cracks to his kind of facade of having any sort of patience with his teammates didn't necessarily crack versus Atleti, but it definitely cracked versus Burnley. And something's got to happen. Something's got to change.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You either get Ronaldo in a position to maximize his efficiency and maximize his shots on goal, or what does he have to do? Play center mid?
I think you're spot on, man. I think the problem with Ronaldo now is he's trying to do too much. Ronaldo is literally in panic mode in his head right now, and that puts me really sad because you can see he's trying to be a much more of a creative player, okay, than he usually is, Ronaldo, in Man United. And what I really like, I don't know if Ronaldo ever sees this or everyone that speaks to Ronaldo sees this, but man, please leave the creativity to Bruno Fernandes, to all those players that are behind you, and leave Ronaldo do his job up front, man. Okay, no more panic mode. And it's just I think, and you're right, man. We have to point it out. It's true. Ronaldo is having a bit of a dip right now at this midterm season, but I gotta say, I gotta be hopeful. I gotta put all my chips in Ronaldo against Turkey. Okay, he might be a bit low in form, but I got to be hopeful right now, Breton. Okay, understand me. My boy Ronaldo has to go bold against Turkey, and then Italy. Okay, we have to be ready, man. Oh, I'm nervous. But
and here's what it comes down to is they're still in the running to beat Atleti, right? They still have a chance. They still can learn from their mistakes, and they're still in the running for top 4. They're still in the running for Champions League football. So
true.
The goals can still be met even if there were more bumps in the road than you would have liked. But Ronaldo, I think the bigger thing for me was watching him lose his cool with his.
He did.
And I get it. There have probably been instances of this previously, but I've never seen him that kind of demonstratively, like, angry, right, on the pitch with his teammates. And that, I think he needs. That kind of rankled me in terms of being like, whoa, Ronaldo. There's some issues, right? And Ronaldo, I think you're right. I think he's trying to do too much. With that. So, hey, we'll see. United's got another shot.
Mentioned it. Like, I have to lead up, man. You speak about the Man United Atletico game. I got to talk about the Portuguese person that lights it up, okay? The Wanda Metropolitano, with how he played. And man of the match of the game. And with all due respect, deserved it 100%. And it's João Félix with an absolute masterclass game against Man United, okay, and putting water in everyone's mouth in the Premier League, especially Man City and Arsenal fans, okay, because I am seeing news that Arsenal are interested in João Félix, okay, and I understand Arsenal is desperate for a superstar, just like Atletico. We're desperate to sign a superstar because João Félix could have gone to Real Madrid or Barca. But Atletico had to overpay because he would have gone to those two clubs instead. So Arsenal may have to overpay for him not to go to Man City, João Félix. Okay, this is the situation. So I just like to see him. What a header that was. And the confidence seems to be back. And I'm so happy for it.
There were some minor Robin Van Persie vibes to that header. It was nice.
He's going to the Prem. I guarantee you. I guarantee you he's going to the Prem. I'm not going to say inside sources type beat, but like I have a feeling inside and out. I've heard some things, and Prem is.
Yeah, and I know in the past you've said that the best destination for him would actually be City, just because.
But London. I'm smelling London. I don't know, Breton. I am smelling London for Felix. Just saying, here on the FC Wonderkid pod, you heard it
Don't
first.
smell London. It smells like a city. I can tell you that much. But that could be good. That could be good. Arsenal, interesting.
Well, not even Arsenal. Maybe Tottenham. I'm not. It's just the wages that he asks and the price tag that, like, he'll leave for close to 100 million. So.
Yeah.
Let's see. But I'm very happy to see João Félix now. Each goal that he scores, if he scores in Old Trafford, that's 20 more million for João Félix in that transfer fee. Just say, okay? Just say. But another youngster too that like performed in that match, it's Anthony Elanga. And Anthony Elanga, I have here, became the youngest ever Swedish goal scorer in the Champions League, okay? So big up in Elanga. And I got to say this too. He is special, and I love the fact that he's getting the light now, Elanga, because he has determination. And not a lot of wonder kids have the determination that Elanga has on and off the ball. It's not just when you have the ball. He's off the ball, non-stop moving. And I got to say this. I know, like, I really think Cristiano Ronaldo has a really good influence on Elanga. Okay, there's a lot of moments before the game that even those two are chatting, and you can see it. There's a different face in Elanga's face talking to Ronaldo than it was in Greenwood's face talking to Ronaldo. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm liking that, and you can see that Elanga is willing to learn, and he's gonna go far. Elanga is gonna go far. Swedish fans, you are lucky, man. Kulusevski performing now, and now Elanga, big time. Big time. And Ralf Rangnick was like, if Ralf Rangnick hadn't gone to Man United, Elanga would have left on loan. This is official. Yeah. Ralf Rangnick said this. Before I arrived, he was going to go on loan. Like, this right decision to stay. Oh, my days.
And I don't think I don't know, was anyone out there bold enough to put a bet on him being the savior? Saving that tie for them. I mean, not that a 1-0 deficit would have been the worst thing in the world, but grabbing that there was impressive. And I'm with you. Yeah, everything about him exudes. I'm sure there's a cap somewhere, but if there's one thing Rangnick's good at doing, it's playing to people's strengths, except Ronaldo's. But anyway, a couple other things before we definitely move on to Wonderkids, and not big things. Just you got to shout out. I forgot this earlier on, but you got to shout out Christian Eriksen return to the field. Brentford. Okay, This has nothing to do with Europa League, nothing to do with any of that. Christian Eriksen returned to the field after 8 months, and that bizarre craziness and that brush with death, and we're just so happy to see him playing again. So I gotta just say that, even if it is just for a TikTok. But the other thing within the Europa League, was it Europa League I wanted to mention? Yes. Okay, this whole crazy thing with Russia and Ukraine happening, it was just so, even if it was just poetic, even if it was, it obviously isn't going to change anything, but seeing a guy like Ruslan Malinovskyi, who has not necessarily been having the season that he's wanted to have, right? I actually keyed in on him as being one of their most dangerous players, Atalanta's dangerous players this season. But seeing him score those 2 goals in like dominant fashion, one of them was a golazo, versus Olympiacos, and then lifting that shirt saying no war in Ukraine. Man, was that poetic, and was that just so cool and strong to see. And I think that's why I really want Atalanta to make a big run for it with Malinovskyi doing it. But hey, he's Ukrainian, right? And it was just kind of something we all wanted to see. Anyway, down in the Europa Conference League, there's only really one thing I'm going to talk about, and it's Bodø Glimt. Okay, we do have to mention Bodø Glimt, the Norwegian squad, known for Jens Petter Hauge, known for Patrick Berg. I might be missing somebody, but they took down. They didn't just take down. They kicked the crap out of Celtic, right? Celtic, a team that was on hot form previous to this, bringing in some new guys that they had brought, Jota, we were talking about, right? We were talking about Reo Hatate. We were talking about a bunch of really good players, Lyle Abada. Bodø Glimt beat them 5-1 on aggregate.
Phew.
5-1 on aggregate. Okay, without Hauge, without Patrick Berg. The new names are Ola Solbakken, Hugo Vetlesen, Elias Hagen. Okay, and I probably killed all of their pronunciations. But guess who they get? They get AZ Alkmaar next. But Bodø Glimt is just still playing the football that makes them the best team in Norway, like bar none, easily. The Europa Conference League draw, we don't have enough time to walk through the whole draw, but it's still pretty interesting. A couple you have to watch out for. Bodø Glimt is playing AZ Alkmaar. Bodø Glimt is one that I really would love to see go on and win. And then you've got Leicester City playing Rennes, and you've got AS Roma, Jose Mourinho, playing Vitesse. But I think the best of it all is going to be Marseille Basel. I don't know. It's the first Europa Conference League. I think we have to actually take a look at this stuff. And there's definitely going to be some Wonderkids taking part in all this. And without further ado, we should probably get to the Wonderkids before this becomes a 3-hour event.
There you go. So people, put in the comment section below who do you think is going to win the Conference League. And I'll let you start saying a quick mention of Wonderkids because you got the jersey to talk about Wonderkids. And yeah, who was it that had a perfect hat trick in his first half?
It was Yéremy Pino. 19-year-old Yéremy Pino with not just 3 goals in the first half, which is, oh, by the way, he becomes the youngest player ever to do that in La Liga history, a first half hat trick, but he had 4 goals in 53 minutes versus Espanyol. And he's been in and out of Unai Emery's 11 over the past few months. And just like that, this is the type of quality he has as a 19-year-old. He gets his chances. He puts them away. He scored a header. He hit one with his left foot. He hit one with his right foot.
Yep.
Okay. So the kid obviously knows what he's doing. He obviously has a future at Villarreal, and it was pretty awesome to see. And I believe it was his first career professional brace and his first career professional hat trick. All in that amazing performance. So Yéremy Pino, gonna have to watch out for him.
You gotta watch out for him. And you said it, 53 minutes, 4 goals.
4 goals.
Oh my days. And I gotta say this too. Who will snatch him up? Because 19 years old and doing this already. Like if Brian Gil is going to Tottenham with what he's done, Yéremy Pino, just with this match itself, he must be going to another big-time club, man. So we have to mention. I have to talk about this in the pod, man. We have to. The best, okay, well, for a lot of people, the best transfer in January, okay, Dušan Vlahović at Žvinč, okay. Vlahović has 5 goals, okay, in 6 games for Žvinč. He has, oh my days, that was ridiculous. 33 seconds. He only needed that to score in his Champions League debut. Okay. Hello to the world from Dušan Vlahović. And it's not a bold statement anymore. Dušan Vlahović must be in the talk of the best strikers in the world right now. Okay. At 22. Okay. So Dušan Vlahović, keep on delivering because that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing.
24 goals. Dušan Vlahović has 24 goals, 5 assists in 30 appearances this year. He got his first Champions League goal. It's just one of those things where it was probably smart for him to go Serie A club to Serie A club because he's hit the ground running and there's none of that transition, none of that worrying about, whatever. But the fact of the matter is Juventus has a little bit of an injury crisis of their own, and he's still delivering. He's still making. I think this is like one of his largest quirks or largest strengths is he has the ability to make something out of nothing.
Agreed.
And while that's not something you can necessarily teach somebody, it is just a major quality that for him, still 21, maybe he just turned 22.
22 now.
I think his goal total is going to continue to explode. It really is.
And Juve really needed that. They really needed that hope. They were just their head down playing. They really rejuvenated now. And you said it, Vlahović, just like the first goal against Villarreal, expect the unexpected with this kid, man. And yeah, he's really gonna be up there, really, and it's gonna be a bargain. 76 million, I think that was. People are gonna be saying, how did Vinch get him for that fee? Okay, that's what people are gonna be saying in the future. And how much is it gonna be to take Vlahović from Vinch in the future? Can't even imagine that already. Oh my days. Oh.
Yeah. Well, we can pop from there in Serie A, probably over. We talked about it. We floated this earlier, talking about Leverkusen. But my goodness, the duo of Florian Wirtz and Moussa Diaby just will not stop for this club. I mean, they're in the top 3, top 4 in the Bundesliga. They're still in it in the Europa League. They're one of the more exciting teams to watch because of their reliance on this youth. But Moussa Diaby, he's up to 15 goals, 9 assists, still 22 years old. And then you've got Florian Wirtz, 10 goals, 13 assists. He's literally only behind Thomas Müller in assists in the Bundesliga, which, come on, everybody's behind Thomas Müller.
Exactly.
Just really cool, really impressive.
It's exactly, you said it. And Moussa Diaby too. Only Müller and Wirtz are ahead of Moussa Diaby too, with 7 assists him too. So it's like Wirtz and Moussa Diaby are like in the top 3. So it's Müller, Wirtz, and Diaby. I just wanted to say that because that's like crazy how Leverkusen is like just getting all these stars and they're playing together. And crazy stat too by Diaby: 5 games, 7 goals and 1 assist by Moussa Diaby. Okay, so 22 years old. He's not gonna stay for long at Leverkusen.
No, I don't think so. But then again, I would have thought he would have gotten picked up. I mean, to be honest, Moussa Diaby was probably the more attractive signing than Leon Bailey. Right?
I agree.
But they went for Leon Bailey instead, probably because Jamaican roots. I don't know if that has anything to do with Brexit. I don't know anything about that stuff. But Moussa Diaby has been he was inconsistent in his first few years, but he has really turned it on. But Wirtz, man, I mean, we talked about Jude before having, exuding that leadership at 18 years old. Well, Florian Wirtz is right there. I can't think of another kid that's as indispensable to their club and as young as he is. As those two, Wirtz and Bellingham, are just amazing. So anywhere else in the world, I can't think of an 18-year-old as indispensable as those two. So going to be a lot of fun to see what and if anything happens in the transfer market. And as we've seen with Bayer Leverkusen, it generally does happen. And clubs will come calling, much like they did for Kai Havertz, much like they did for Leon Bailey.
And both Jude and both Wirtz both play for the national team at 18. Yeah. So it's like, even if you say, maybe like they haven't proved. No, they have proven themselves legitimately with the best national team level. So that itself is insane. And we said it, Jude Bellingham scored in both legs against Rangers, away and at home. So,
did all he could.
Facts.
Who else we got?
Facts. And I had to say this because this is a quick take that for me, I say most underrated youngster signing, this season. And for me, it's Michael Olise. For £8 million, Crystal Palace are going to easily, quadruple the money. Easily, 40-50 million for Michael Olise, guaranteed. And it's not even I have fear. Michael Olise has 3 goals and 5 assists, this season. And that in the Prem is really good, in my opinion. 20 years old, immediate impact. And even if he had 0 goals and 0 assists, this kid is a silky baller, He's got mad skills. He has an impact when he comes off the bench. And elite vision passing-wise too. So people, watch out. It's not just Conor Gallagher. Michael Olise too. And he's not on loan. He's not on loan.
No, he's not. That is just a phenomenal piece of business, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you wanted to see the impact Michael Olise had in a full season, all you have to do is look at the English Championship table. Look for Reading Football Club and see how far they are down without Michael Olise. They did everything they could to use that 7-8 million or so that they got robbed for, frankly, to build a squad around it, and they are struggling mightily. But Michael Olise, absolutely right. Silky baller, yes. And he's only going to grow into it more. And I can't think of a better player, necessarily former player, to work under than Vieira. So you brought up Crystal Palace, so I'm going to raise you. You brought up Conor Gallagher. You brought up Michael Olise. I'm going to raise you one that's not necessarily on the tip of everybody's tongue. I am enjoying the consistency and the defensive prowess of one Tyrick Mitchell. Okay? He's not a name that we all look at and go, oh my goodness, this kid is just amazing, right? Because he's not one of those attacking fullbacks that make us all excited. Like, we forget about Trent's inconsistencies on the defensive end because he can hit a ball like nobody else in the world, right?
Well,
but from Tyrick Mitchell, I know that's a debatable thing that we can all whatever. But talking about Tyrick Mitchell, who's a left back, I believe he's 21, 22 years old, maybe 22 right now. He just made his 50th Premier League appearance for Crystal Palace. He continues to be one of the top fullbacks in the whole league. 33 consecutive starts for Crystal Palace, and those aren't even interesting stats. Here are the interesting stats. In the top 5 leagues, okay, which is always a debatable thing, but in the top 5 leagues, Tyrick Mitchell is second in pressures won. He's 13th in blocks made, okay, crosses, passes, and he's top 20 in tackles won. Okay. Now, stats don't always tell the whole story, all right? But there is one thing. He is easily the best defensive left back, I think, in the Premier League. Not young, the best defensive left back in the Premier League. And he's getting better every day.
Bold. Best defensive left back?
I mean, come on. I mean, those stats in and of themselves, I get it, they don't mean everything. I mean, do those warrant at some point some sort of attention from a Gareth Southgate?
Okay. I like where you're getting. Okay.
I mean, I know we don't talk about Tyrick Mitchell because guess what? He's not going to wind up as an assist man. He's not going to score a goal.
He won't be called ahead of Chilwell Luke Shaw. Like, but I legitimately put the chance. I really thought in my head, like, can he? But, like, no. It's even like Reece James can even go to the left, man. So
I know.
But great shout. Great player. And I got to keep on my own league. And I got to give 2 shouts. Gonçalo Ramos. He's starting to net some goals, okay? He's got his last 6 games, he's got 4 goals for Benfica. And Darwin Núñez, okay? I fully expect Darwin at the end of this season leaving Benfica. And what a game it's going to be against Ajax next, too, because he might score a goal, just like he did with Barça, shocking a lot of people. But he's got 19 league goals and 2 assists, Darwin Núñez, okay, in Portugal. So, 22 years old, Uruguayan striker. Watch out, people. He's going to leave Benfica soon.
And Uruguay is going to need him big time heading into these final World Cup qualifiers. So, that's very interesting. All right, well, I'm going to go countryman on you. I'm going to talk about a couple of Americans really quickly. Yunus Musa, 19 years old. He became the American with the most matches ever played in La Liga all time. Okay, 52 matches, and he's 19. 52 matches, and he's 19. Here's a caveat. He obviously wasn't American, right? Declared for America that whole time. But I only bring him up, and I bring that, not really a minor milestone, but I bring that milestone up because with Weston McKennie's injury, I don't know if our listeners know this, but Weston McKennie broke a couple metatarsal. He's going to be out a little while. Sucks for Juventus, sucks for the U.S. men's national team, probably more. I got to see Yunus Musa, just like he does for Valencia. I got to see him slot in, take Weston McKennie's spot, and just ball out. And I have a feeling, and I'm going to say it right now, I have a feeling that he is going to wind up being the player of our window as we qualify for the World Cup. Okay? He will wind up being that guy. I hope so. I really hope so. But the other two I just want to mention, MLS action started, Major League Soccer in the States. And if you don't watch it because, the level of play is not Premier League, okay? But if you don't watch it for that, definitely watch it for the young guys coming up.
Yes.
And there's two guys I want to mention in the first weekend, which is still ongoing.
Okay.
That is 17-year-old Jaquil Marshall Ruddy.
Yes.
He's a right winger that actually has been converted into a right wing back. And he did not look out of place for Toronto FC. Not his prime position either, and he was effective. He was calm. He was good on the attack as well. But he trained at Liverpool and Arsenal, right, over the summer, right? And they very much so know that he is likely going to wind up being one hell of a baller, to the point where it wasn't necessarily ID'd who. Yeah, and it wasn't necessarily ID'd who, but 20 million valuation. And one of those European clubs were very close to matching that valuation. So another Canadian footballer you got to watch out for, because I don't think that this resurgence or this upsurgence, if that's even a word, in Canada's football, I don't think that that's going away anytime soon. I think they're starting to build some people around it. And Jaquil Marshall Ruddy, imagine Davies on the left, Marshall Ruddy on the right in the future. That's going to be pretty interesting. Only other one I want to mention is Gaga Slonina, 17 years old, 6'4", which I don't know how that converts to your meters system in Europe, but he's a goalkeeper for the Chicago Fire, has a Polish passport, so actually could leave. There were talks of a lot of Serie A clubs, a lot of really big Premier League clubs that have been looking at him. He, of course, started off the season with a clean sheet, made a ridiculous save in the 84th, 85th minute, and these are two that I guarantee you, by the end of this year, there will be a whole lot of talk, barring injury, about them leaving for Europe and paying handsomely to do so. So
Slonina even was like 15 million, right? They were saying Premier League teams wanted 15. Yep. And Arsenal, like, they went for Matt Turner, but wasn't this the guy that you were gonna get? Should have gotten? Just saying. No,
potentially.
He's good. He's a good role player to have. Like, so I think that was a good transfer maybe in the future too. But let's see what's gonna happen on that. And me ending my Wonderkid's news talk on my end is, like, I gotta say too, Man City VAR situation. I know I have to say Phil Foden came to save the day, match winner. Okay, it has happened in the past. Okay, so Phil Foden saving the day is something reoccurrent. Okay, at City, I'm liking it. Okay, getting this this hero concept to at Man City, but that VAR situation. Okay, Lampard said it. He put him on the spot, and I gotta say that's a clear penalty to Man City. Okay, VAR should have made a better call. And Lampard, I'm with you, man. I am with you. Good call out. You got to call it out. What it is.
Yeah, but, we're not supposed to take sides. No, I hear you. I actually have purposefully not gone back and looked at it because I didn't want to take a side either way.
Yeah.
But Phil Foden, I'm here for that. Phil Foden being that indispensable guy for Pep. But anyway, so much more football ahead.
There you go.
I think it's probably a good time.
There you
Time to stop it, right?
There you go, people. So please don't forget to like this video, people. It's a huge help. And if you listen to this pod on YouTube, go listen on Spotify too, man. That's a huge help for us too. Yeah. And don't forget to go click on the follow button and the ringtone button so you never miss out and you're always updated when our episodes come out. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 45. And any question, anything, please put down below in the comment section. And guys, please do not forget to keep going bold, okay? So long, people.